Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Is our audio working just fine? Let's do a little quick checkup on that. Once it pops up. It seems to be working. Let me know if the music is too loud or not for anybody that pops on in, if they do pop on in. But hello everybody, welcome back. Omega Given here. Today I'm gonna go, or I need to go and recap on a little bit of stuff I did off screen yesterday. So yesterday live stream, what we were working on was we were trying to figure out how to install Docker, so I can be able to install or create a Docker image of a tool that I use quite often, which is Open Web UI. It's a really handy tool. Let me just show up Open Web UI. It's this tool right here. It's kind of like when you have it installed. Oh, here's an image of it. Or I can just show it to you. Let me just show it to you. What am I doing? So I can just go/AI. Booyah! It takes me to this right here. How do I maximize? I don't know how I maximize. What's the hotkey for that, guys? Anybody know the hotkey? This is Open Web UI. Basically, it's a AI agent display, not the agent itself, that displays any localized AI through Llama. I feel like that's a little too technical for anybody that doesn't even understand it. So on my computer, I have a service called Ollama. Ollama takes AI model agents, like a big chunk of file that's like the brain neuron of a just call it the brain of an AI, and it runs it through the service and puts it as an endpoint. A HTML acts as endpoint, or sometimes you can use it through APIs and stuff like that. It's an API endpoint where we can call and ask it things as an AI agent. You know how Copilot, you can just send a message. It basically sends a message to that Ollama thing. But the thing is, we need a UI interface so we can interact with it. Else you could interact with that in the command line, but it's So we want a UI, and this provides us a UI. Basically, over here in the top left, we can select which model we want to run with. This will basically populate with whatever models you have in Ollama. You can actually have different workspaces or chats if you create multiple chats. I haven't really used this yet. You can do a code interpreter, or you can just add a lot of different stuff. You can add apparently you can add some videos or stuff like that. Of course, the AI agent has to be able to understand or take in those objects as well. And so if you're using an AI model that doesn't do anything kind of image stuff, it might just take that in and be like, what are you talking about? And it doesn't know what it's talking about. You can actually make this even search the web if you want, if you can configure it to do that at some point. These are all let me move my thing. On the right here, over here, we have basically a way that we can like filter how we send things to it. There's a lot of different things how you can control the AI, like max tokens. You can like change the max tokens to like crazy numbers. So like say whatever stuff. We just want to keep on default. I don't know what the actual limit is on that stuff. But basically, AI agent localized. So I like to always have these things installed. So I installed this through a Docker image. We were having issues with Docker because we're on Bazzite. It's a Linux distribution, Bazzite. And I was having a hard time with Docker because Docker doesn't really natively install on it easily. You have to get like a GNOME terminal, then give the Docker access to the command line and to be able to do command line commands. It was getting complicated. But then I learned about a very helpful, crucial thing. That thing being, I learned that basically Podman, which is another containerization platform, service, software, whatever you want to call it, is the same thing as Docker basically, and it is natively installed to Bazzite, at least the version of Bazzite I have. So I literally just changed my alias of when Podman when Docker used Podman, basically that's the alias. So I set up an alias that makes it so I can just type in Docker as stuff, so I can just use Docker commands. So yeah, I did that, and with that I booted up my instance thing and it started working just fine. Also, another thing I discovered in the top left here on this terminal that I'm using specifically, I can actually see containers that are running. So I can actually see, I can go into that container and run commands in that container, I guess. It's kind of cool. I never noticed that until literally today, and I opened it. I'm like, what does this do? What does this do? So I learned that. I've fixed it up. So now we got a system that's really cool, customized to the fact that we have an internal service that basically makes it so we can do shortcuts on our command line on any browser we want. Meaning I don't ever have to use bookmarks ever again. I don't need bookmarks because all my bookmarks are saved right here in this thing up here. So I have GitHub, email, calendar, YouTube, blah blah blah. I'm still decking it out with all the stuff that I ever would use or need. Technically this is not all of them. I have actually 2 other files, shortcut files. I can show them, but let me pull up my VS Code to show you how I have this built. VS Code, where's Visual Studio Code? Because apparently it's not. Excellent. All right, cool. I did the double check. So in my Visual Studio Code, I think I can just, can I just plus Control Shift? Yeah, there we go. Let's increase the size of this so you guys can actually see it a little better or something like that. Wait, I don't know how to minimize it. Oh no. Wait. I don't know how to minimize it, guys. Oh no. How do you minimize? Ah, frick. As I just mess up my view completely. What? How do you? Oh crap! Appearance. Wait, no. Wait. View. Appearance. Zoom in. Control. Zoom out is Control minus. I was doing Control minus. Wait. Oh, okay. I was doing Control Shift minus. All right, there we go. Okay, so this is my Flash server. Just letting you guys know. Basically, I have 3 JSONs. Each JSON. I'm not gonna show you my other 2. But each JSON basically is just, you know, alias that you want to use in the browser with whatever link you want. That's basically what the JSONs are. I'm not going to show you my other 2 because they have websites. I don't want you. I'm trying to obscure what websites I use and stuff. That might be personal. Like, you don't want to see my banks. You don't want to see my work websites I use, stuff like that. Very good way to, like, you know, separate things out a little bit, just to have them stored in separate files. So I have 3 different things here. I basically load, which actually this is really crappily done because now I look at it, this is literally the same thing but done 3 times, but just pass in the 3 different things. I don't know why I did that. I could make that into 2 functions, like one where it's just like filter by blah blah blah, or one, yeah, it's this is not a good example of how you should code in Python. This is a very bad example of Python coding, but I don't care. It works. It works. All right, so basically I load all those shortcuts and basically be like, yo, if the URL is in any of these things, if it that or statement is basically an if statement in a way, and everything. And this is my error handling for whenever I need to see all my stuff. I just type in a bunch of letters and aren't in any of my aliases, and it will pop up my 404 thing, and it shows me all the links I can access. Well, all my personal links, I can just click on this right here if I ever need to see what the thing is without having to go into the browser and fail. But yeah, I'll just explain some cool tools I've made for myself. But this is basically my bookmarks thing. I basically this is a GitHub. I just pull it down, insert my shortcuts file in. You can actually get this yourself. I have it public on my GitHub if you ever want to use it. But yeah, this is a service I basically made in the back end of my computer. It starts up every single time I start my computer up, so I don't ever have to use bookmarks ever again. Pretty awesome, right? And I don't ever have to type in, or I don't ever have to save passwords to my browser ever again because I use Proton Pass or a password manager. Super cool. Like this is like the ultimateness of modular like desktop use. I don't know. I'm kind of loving how I'm building out my system. It's kind of really cool. All right. With that said, though, today we're not doing any of that. I'm just explaining how I did a bunch of my stuff. I got Docker to work. I got these things to work. So I got everything all set. And I was playing a game today, and I saw something, and I want that to be applied to my terminal. All right, so things are gonna get loud here for a second. I am going to mute my screen a little bit here. I am gonna show you guys something flippin' cool that I want to do on my terminal. So I'm gonna open up a game just for demonstration purposes. I play this game just occasionally. I want to get my mouse control better and everything. Actually, let me fix the visuals of this game. Give me 1 second. It does weird stuff. I have to like shift it screens and back to get it to actually apply to whatever screen. Also, let me get my OBS to that. All right, so in this game, so if you do this daily challenge, oh wait, no, not daily. I don't want to show you how crappy I am at this game. When you are typing, actually, let me get to a place where you can type. Let's do solo. Yeah, up here in the search. All right, so pay attention up here up top. in the search, like way up top, when I press a backspace, look at the letters. They just like fade and drop off out of existence. I want that effect on my terminal. That would be so cool. It's a cool effect. I want that terminal effect on my stuff. It would be just, I would love that effect. It just, when it just sheds characters off, so it's like, just, that looks so cool. Doesn't it look so cool? I want that applied to my terminal. So we're going to try to figure that out today. I don't know if it's going to figure out on stream or if we're going to get sidetracked into whatever stuff. We're going to give it a try because I like trying new things. The more things you try, the more things you learn, the more things you learn, the more things you do. It's cool. It's stuff. So I already asked the AI here how to do this. It's giving me a couple of options and such. So basically, you can customize your terminal, or for one, the terminal I'm using over here, this Bazite terminal. It's actually can't do it. There's no way to do that kind of thing. But what I've learned from the AI so far is the terminologies we're looking for is a terminal emulator. So basically, I'm guessing we need to find a terminal emulator, aka a new terminal, basically, that has the ability for animation support. Now, a lot of this is like GPU acceleration, but I don't know why you would ever need GPU acceleration for a terminal when like we've had processors that could do graphical stuff easily for the past 20 years. So I'm kind of wondering if we could find a terminal that doesn't need GPU, because I want to keep all my GPU utilization strictly to like gaming, AIs, and other weird, complicated things that might come along, but I don't have figured out. So we need to figure that out. But this says for the fun lever effect, the niche animation that might require a custom terminal emulator or plugin, a script that intercepts backspace and redraws the characters with animation, or even a game-like terminal UI using something like Blest in Node.js or ncurses in C. I don't want to touch Node.js. I don't want to touch JavaScript, so we're going to try to avoid that at all costs. So let's see if AI can provide me something. Is there any terminal emulators that are native to, or that work, I guess, work with Fedora that doesn't, I don't want it to require GPU acceleration to do animations. The terminal emulator needs to be able to do emulations. Yes, that's basically what I'm trying to ask. Let's see if it can pop out some kind of starting point where we can search. Okay, absolutely, below there is stuff. And there are a few that work well with Fedora and support various terminal emulators like blah, blah, blah. So we got GNOME Terminal, which lightweight and reliable, smooth scrolling, great for minimal setups, no GPU needed. What was the ones that it said Kitty or Alacrity? How do you build a terminal? Should we build our own terminal emulator? The side things that's like in my mind. I'm like, what? How hard would it be for me to build this just so I can get my animation support? Animations are CPU rendered. Ooh, tiling support animation. Okay, Tilix, split panels and transitions, VTE based. What does VTE based mean? A custom shell prompt in Bash, or a custom shell prompt in Bash, a wrapper script that intercepts backspace and redraws the characters with a delay or animation. Tools like ncurses or Blest to build a pseudo terminal UI. I don't ever want to touch JavaScript. We do not want to touch JavaScript. Like I'm okay with like JavaScript is needed when it needed, but I feel like, isn't JavaScript really slow? I feel like that would be like a really slow thing. I want it to be snappy. I want it to feel very snappy. But yeah. Here, let's ask the AI, what does VTE mean? VTE based. What does that mean? Actually, should we rename our live stream? I just realized that I haven't even edited. Customizing Linux to feel like heaven. Haven. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just renaming our live stream. All right. Great question. VTE base refers to the terminal emulators that are built using the VTE library, which stands for Virtual Terminal Emulator. It's a software component that provides the core functionality of a terminal, like interpreting escape sequences, handling input-output, and emulating classic terminals such as VT100 or Xterm. What does VTE does? It acts as a GTK widget that developers can embed. You know, this kind of reminded me a little bit. I had a class. I think it was called operating systems back in college, where I feel like we kind of built some terminal use things in Java, I believe. Kind of giving me like a little bit of remembering things from that. And it kind of makes me wonder a little bit of like, if I expanded that knowledge, could I build a Java built terminal that could do this kind of thing? Possibly. Maybe I don't want to do that though, because it'd take me way freaking too long to do it. But then again, we have AI nowadays. AI could help me write half of this code. It means the terminal emulators use their shared library. All right. So basically, VTE is a standardization library for these kind of things. So I like the sound of this one, or at least I put the notes here, is that the tiling support and animations are CPU rendered. So this Tilix looks kind of fun. Split panels, transitions, scroll bar effects. Let's see. Does Tilix support character animation for typing and such? All right, this Tilix is the way we want to go. Tilix doesn't natively support character typing, level typing animations like fading, bouncing, or falling. Letters as you type, it's built on VTE library, which focuses more on the accurate terminal emulation and proficiency when operating in closing panes, split views, custom color schemes, hyperlinks, and image previews with some tweaks. But when it comes to per character animations like a typewriter effect or animation deleting, those are typically handled by custom shell prompts, scripts, or apps built with ncurses. Okay, it's still keeping this built with ncurses. What is ncurses? What is ncurses? This is just going down the rabbit hole. Mass Coder, hello, welcome. We are working on Bazite. It is a Fedora-based distribution. I mainly landed on this one because I first tried Ubuntu. So many crap was going wrong with Ubuntu. I'm gaming as well. I'm a gamer. So just lots of stuff was going wrong. Visuals were just breaking half the time. It was just being really annoying. And I didn't like the look of Ubuntu, even though I know you can customize it. It would be way too many customization for me to get to the point where I liked it. So I went from Ubuntu to another Ubuntu distribution, but it was different. I went to Mint, Ubuntu, or Linux Mint, which is based on Ubuntu. I tried that. I actually enjoyed that quite a bit, but when it came to gaming, I saw lots of screen tearing and stuff like that. That like it seemed like the compositor that it was using was just breaking a lot of the time still. So I went from that to then I tried to maybe install Arch Linux, but I got very scared. I was not on the level Arch Linux quite yet. And then I'm like, okay, I want a distribution that works with gaming. And then I can maybe just do all the Linux stuff after the fact. So I found Bazite because there's a Bazite on the Bazite website. You can actually have it come pre-installed with all the needed drivers for your stuff. So I plugged in. I use all the things in my computer basically, like AMD, NVIDIA, all that kind of stuff. And it popped out the image. I installed it. Works right out of the gate, amazingly. Like 4K. More than 60 frames per second on all my games. I do notice one game so far is kind of breaks the game works, but the rest of my computer breaks while it's working. It's kind of weird. So I that's Diablo 4. I've played that through, so I installed it through Lutris, playing it on Steam, or playing it through Steam, like with Diablo 4, and it works fine. Eventually it does like kind of it kicks the bucket kind of halfway through, where like some of the visuals on screen, like the ground is weird, but like I can still play. It's not like a game breaking bug. But then the rest of my computer stops working. And the only way to fix it is I have to then close the game and then refresh my video compositor. So that's the story of at least where I am right now. I'm still in Bazlight. I like Bazlight. I want to see if I can sort through that bug on that game specifically eventually, because I do play Diablo 4 with my buddy a lot. But yeah, so right now we're basically just trying to, I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole. I want to make a customized terminal that does a very specific thing, and that specific thing is character animations. So basically, when you type in the terminal, it just types, right? And then if you go backspace, it backspaces, right? I want an animation for when I backspace, I want the letters to drop and fade away. It's kind of a cool animation I saw in a video game, and I'm like, I want that animation on my terminal, because that would be so cool. And also, I'm not in the community enough to know if that's like an already standardized thing, so I'm trying to learn it right now. That's basically what's going on. So yeah, there you go. You got the whole story where we're at. We're now right here. We're customizing our Linux like always. We've been customizing for the past like week or two. Oh, and just to let you know, I switched all of those things within the past month, so I'm still a beginner in Linux. I'm learning a lot, but we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, but we are trying to learn what is ncurses, because so far our AI has kind of prompted us through being like, yo, here's a list of terminal emulators we could use. I thought Tilix might be a cool thing, but does not have animation support. But it keeps mentioning right here, ncurses are blessed. And blessed looks like it's a node.js thing. I don't want to touch JavaScript right now. Nothing against it. I just don't feel like touching JavaScript. So what is ncurses? That's basically what we're on right now. What is ncurses? Ncurses is a powerful programming language. Programming language. Ah, frick. We gotta learn a new programming language. Used to create text-based user interfaces in a terminal. It's like a toolkit about building interactive apps that run in the terminal. Think of it like HTOP or Nano or Tmux. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So it's basically like in-terminal tooling. All right. I see. What it can do, controls screen output, lets you move the cursor, draw boxes, update text without flickering. Okay, that's good. Handles keyboard input, detects arrow keys, functional keys, and mouse events. Manages windows and panels, can split the screen into multiple areas and control them independently. Supports colors and formatting. Okay, good. What's it? Why is it useful? Works across many terminal types. Thanks to his use of term info database. Term info database. I don't know what that is. How does that use a works across many terminal types thanks to its use of term info database? I'm wondering how a programming language on top of a terminal would access a database. It's not remotely accessing. I don't want this. I want this all completely native to my computer. I don't want to be accessing anything remote. But if it's installing a database on my computer that then pulls from to do stuff, okay, I can see that. Try Arch, lol. Would love to see sleep deprived and scratching your head for 12 hours and then eventually give up and smash your monitor. Yeah. The whole Arch thing, that got me. Like I have a flash drive right here. It has like every single, like I have Ventoy on it, so it has every single distribution that I ever would want to try on it, like 6 distributions. And I kind of booted up Arch, and I'm like, okay, what's this whole Arch thing? And it just boots up to a terminal line or like a command line. I'm like, oh boy, just a command line. Okay. And I'm like, let's see, instructions, how to install, and I'm like trying to go through it. I'm like, this is way too much for me. So I kind of I'm putting that on the back burner. We'll get to Arch one day. We're not there yet, but we're going to get to Arch one day. First, I want to figure out how to use Linux and really master it on something that I do like, though, going one step down, but not too far down. Maybe I do need to do a deep dive. If I deep dive into it, then maybe like I'll learn, you learn a lot of things faster. But I have so many things I'm learning already that doing a deep dive would just cloud my brain with ideas of things I gotta learn that I would never actually be able to get to the final destination. So that's where you gotta like slowly get into it. Ideologies of learning, guys. Ideologies of learning. I need to start looking at that and not that. So you guys, it seems like you guys, I'm actually looking at you guys. All right. So why is it useful? All right. Helps developers. Blah, 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 blah. All right. This is just makes doesn't require a GUI or graphics card. I like that. I am too thinking about dual booting Linux on my laptop, but am scared about deleting Windows. Okay. You kind of just missed my whole spiel on this, but I have 4 steps that you can easily convert to be able to like figure out your dual booting situation. So so you're on the laptop. Does your laptop have multiple? Is it only one drive in your laptop, or can you install a second drive? Is like one of those laptops that you can put a second drive in there? Because if you can get a second drive in your laptop, I would suggest installing it on the second drive and just starting up that way. Also, if you change your boot menu on the BIOS to make it so it starts out into Grub, the installer for Linux, it makes it so you can kind of choose right there and then which one you want to go on, either be Linux or Windows, and you can set which one to be at top, which one to be at the bottom, so like it will automatically go into that if you just don't press which one you want. So that's basically how my computer boots nowadays. I actually still have my old Windows installed on my computer. I do have a very beefy desktop over here, like it has a 5080 in it. It's a multi-$1,000 computer. But like I have like so many drives. So here, actually, let me show you my drives really quick. Dolphin. So I have left side of the screen over here. I have my main drive, which is this Bazzite NVIDIA Open whatever. You can see that's 4 terabytes. So that's where Bazzite's actually installed with all my games, basically. So, which is kind of crazy. It's only 33% used. I have so many games installed for 4 terabytes. 4 terabytes will get you everything you ever need in life. But then I have a Vault. I have a finished video archive, Fastly. I got like a whole bunch of these other drives. But which one's Fastly is where I have my Windows installed on it. So really, my terminology, I'm kind of going on the rabbit hole. My whole ideology is if you have persistent files like videos, movies, documents, any of that sort that you want to keep across any of your systems, put that on a separate drive or a separate partition if you don't have a drive. So create a separate partition, like split your drive and put all your files there. So and make like enough room that you need for all of those files. So I have multiple drives, so that's why I can just throw it to any of those drives and it's fine. And then on that partition or your whatever drive you're using to install your operating system, all you need those drives to be is the applications and keep on it. So my Bazzite, you can see it's a 4 terabyte drive and there's like lots of files, but all of these are not persistent files. These are all stuff for the operating system or for applications. That way, when you like go to like install a new instance or a new thing, you basically can just install on that one, the OS partition, install all the applications you need. All your apps are all of your persistent files are on a different drive, so they're never going to get overwritten basically unless you're stupid and you accidentally overwrite them. Don't do that, or try not to do that. So that's like that's my theology, is like try to section that off. That way your operating system is a choice. It's not a requirement anymore. It's a choice because you can choose which one you want because all your actual needed files are somewhere else. What were you saying here? It's only one drive, but it's partitioned. But I guess I can add another SSD. Yeah, add another SSD if you can inside the thing. Like, you get like what 2 terabyte drive is I guess $150 I think to get a 2 terabyte, and that's pretty much all you need. But yeah, that's kind of what I would suggest to you. Like, take a drive or move everything to one drive or one partition, and then split the others into the space you need for each thing, and make it so you can just boot into it and try it out. So that's my whole suggestion. I've even modularized it even more because so I have like 4 steps. 1, make all your persistent files onto a different partition or drive. 2, actually wait, let me pull up my my document. I have a document for this because yes, yeah. Where's my rules? Rules to my methodology. Yeah, store all files in a persistent files on a separate drive or partition. Keep a running document of all installs so you can rebuild any operating system from the ground up. So this is my thing where I install. This is all of the applications that ever like all the things I use for my application. This is literally everything. I use Visual Studio. I use Brave browser. I use Proton VPN. I use Proton Pass as my password manager, Discord, OBS. What is this? This is a game, I think. Bamboo Lab because I do 3D printing. Video, a VLC player, Ollama, GitHub. Like I just have all the things I ever install on the computer. So basically, keep a running document of all the things that you ever need to install on your computer. Install a password manager. That way, you never have to worry about like a browser storing all your passwords and then importing, exporting. Just install a password manager and it handles the rest. And then have a bookmark server, so that way you never have to worry about bookmarks ever again. So I basically can just boot up a new partition, or install a new OS, install my password manager, install my server, and then all the applications I ever want, I'm set to go. It feels like I never even do it. It takes me about 1 hour to boot up an entire new operating system and get it into running order. Like 1 hour is all it takes for me. Anyways, have to save some for an SSD and RAM. Wait, it's a lot more like I am in India, bro. Also $150 here. Oh, I see. Gotcha. All right, so we'll make the best of what you can, at least. Just use your existing thing and partition it out to like just the amount of space you need. I guess that's what you can do. Can you make this docs as a Notion and share the link here? As a Notion? I theoretically could. Here, I'll give you, this is my rules of whatever. I'll just put this in the chat. You can copy and paste it from the chat. It's my 4 things. I got one. Here, let me do like the thing. One. It's like my 4 rules of making. And this is like with a caveat. The bookmark server is my Flask server. Actually, let me here. I might repost this. Let me pull up my GitHub. I need to pull my GitHub on a different screen so you guys. I don't want to show you all my repositories. There's some private repositories that I cannot show. Where's my redirect? Flask go local redirect. Okay. Yeah, this right here is a public document that is my it's my bookmark server. I'll show you here in a second. I always show this off because this is like the pride and joy of my thing right here. Here, I'll repost this. Oh wait, can I not? Does YouTube limit the amount of things that can be posted in a document, even if I am the person posting it? What the flip? Gosh darn you, YouTube. I am the flippin' host of this thing. Let me do what I want to do. All right, there's part 1, which is very poorly formatted. I am sorry about that. Apparently YouTube is really crappy at formatting. And there's part 2. Okay, that has the GitHub in it. So basically, let me show you it really quick. It's really quick to show. When I have, so what this is a Python script that when you have it running in the background, I can just do go slash, or it's actually it's 0.0.0, like your local host, and then slash, and whatever alias you need. And that's all of my bookmarks, basically. And I can do this on any browser. This is not saved to my browser. This is saved to the script, meaning I can literally use this on any browser and it works. You can then, on your computer, access the local host, like the aliasing for that local host, and turn that into something different, which I've turned it into go slash that, and it takes me to this page. So I can be like go slash GitHub, and it'll take me to GitHub. Or I can do go slash YouTube and this is for the sake of like you don't have the browser hasn't learned your go-tos kind of. Once it learns your go-tos, you can just be like YouTube, and it goes to YouTube, of course. But yeah, at first it doesn't quite do that, so that's why I have this server. It kind of makes it easier. Technically, YouTube is the owner, so they will do what they want. Yeah, I guess YouTube is the owner. Yeah, you're not wrong, sir. You are not wrong at all. Okay, so I went down a big rabbit hole again. That's kind of what we do. All right, so how the frick do we do our terminal stuff? We're trying to figure out how to do this. Example of, here's a teeny C program using ncurses. So it includes ncurses, starts ncurses mode, prints to screen, waits for user input, end ncurses mode. This simple snippet prints hello world in a terminal window and waits for a key response. If you're curious, I can help you write a custom ncurses app or show how to install it on a Fedora. Want to dive deeper into how it works or what? Okay. I'm about to dive down into like a really crazy rabbit hole that I don't. This might take me a while. I think, did I accidentally just click that? I want to add custom animations to my terminal. I don't know how to do that. Here, the AI can give me answers all day, but what a Linux terminal that can import and type typing animations. I feel like somebody must have done this project because this sounds like something like a Linux user would do, right? Animate art on your Linux terminal. Create animated art directly on your Linux terminal step by step. There are several ways to import typing animations into a Linux terminal. One approach involves these tools like blah blah blah. This is AI again, but like I'm just trying to see if there's others because I just noticed there's some other stuff here that I haven't used before. For example, SL command display a train animation when you accidentally type SL instead of LS. Similarly, cows say and toilet can generate ASCII art with speech bubbles and large text banners respectively. Okay, emulate typing effect when displaying text in the terminal. Okay, see, somebody got something using the PV command. Okay, so PV is some kind of thing they had. Emulate typing effects in terminal. Using for loops. Don't know if that's exactly what we want to go towards. Typing effect using while loop. Okay, what is there? Like it's animations, typing text animations in terminal using GSAP. See, it looks like there's people that have done this. They're just really bad at. Wait, do I have an example? I'm trying to see. Look, what is this example showing? And register the plugin. At this point, I'm almost like, should I build a new terminal? Just build my brand new spanking terminal. How do I do this? GitHub, lightweight. Terminal animations. Fedora terminal animations for deleting characters. I think it's one of the things. I think that's what we gotta do. But I want to see if there is somebody that has somehow standardized this. ASCII art. I'm not doing that. I'm trying to do animations here. Animations is a pain in the butt, apparently. Basically, I want to make a video game. A video game terminal. Why don't we do that? You know what? Okay, you know what? Maybe I should just tell the AI to tell me what to do, basically. Just like, do it. Okay. Pick a method that, or pick a method that I may follow to be able to write a custom animation for when characters delete, they fall off while in my terminal. This will include me which terminal to use, which tools to program in, and so on. All right, so. All right, without recording. Okay, so we want, this is picking GNOME terminal or Tilix. I thought we just read that Tilix can't do this. Both are VTE based, lightweight, and work great on Fedora. They don't support native character animations, but they're perfect for running custom scripts that simulate them. Okay, that's what we want. Okay, so we're gonna use Tilix then. We're gonna use Tilix. I don't want to use GNOME. I want to get away from GNOME because I hate GNOME. I don't know, GNOME just did not work for me. So we're gonna try Tilix, I think. Programming stack. To simulate falling characters when deleting, we'll use Python, easy scripting, and terminal control. Curses handles screen drawing and input. Optional is terminal text effects, Python library for visual effects in terminal, and then bash for integrating the script into your shell workflow. How it works. All right, intercept backspace. Use a Python script that listens for key presses. Draw animation when backspace is pressed. Animate the delete character falling down the screen using curses. Okay. Redraw prompt. Update the terminal prompt after the animation finishes. All right. Starter concept. Python plus curses. Okay. This is good. This is good because this is Python. I'm good at Python. We can do this. So we're gonna do this, guys. Python time. All right. I'm gonna put this to the separate side of the screen. Let's start a new project, shall we? File, new file. This is when I'm just like, normally I don't actually start new files right off the bat. Let's just do new file. No, I don't want a new file. I need a new folder. File. Open folder. You know what? Screw this. CD projects. What should we call this project? We're gonna call this project let's call this the Omega animation. No, I don't know. Should we name this after ourselves, or should we name this something that's like makes sense? Because we might turn this into something else one day. That's why I'm like thinking we could call this something else. But I like the themology that we name, even if it were the creators that we pride that ourselves that we're the ones that created it. I still like names that actually make sense to it. So let's call this smooth or waterfall. Ooh, I like the term waterfall. How does that sound? So let's okay. Make directory. Let's call this waterfall anime or terminal waterfall. Waterfall terminal. Waterfall terminal. Yes, I like the name of waterfall terminal. Waterfall dash terminal. We're gonna call waterfall terminal. Actually, I'm kind of wondering, do we want to say full-on terminal? Because we don't want somebody to think that this is a terminal in itself. It's not. It's just a plugin that goes on top of a terminal. Is term X a good... What's term X in the sphere of whatever stuff? Let me... What does term X mean? I feel like that's isn't that a term? Term X is open source coding designed for knowledge development. Okay, it's an actual coding thing. We don't want to call it term X then. Let's just call it waterfall terminal plugin. Easy peasy. It explains itself. Plugin. All right. CD waterfall terminal plugin. All right. Then let's open that file. File, open folder. We're opening waterfall terminal plugin. Booyah. Save all. All right. Okay. So we need a Python file. Oh, what are we gonna call this file? This is. Should we just? I don't know if we're gonna need additional things, but we're just gonna call this waterfall.py. I feel like that just makes sense. So we got waterfall.py. I just realized we don't have continue installed here. Sorry, my brain's trying to go to this other things. Installing continue. Yeah, because I want this to like be able to work locally and such. Or I like my coding assistant. Actually, I don't even like the, I was kind of thinking about this the other day while this installs. I don't like the term assistant for like AI because people are assistants as well, and I feel like if you dumb an AI to be the dumb assistant, like that helps you do stuff, I feel like it demeans the existing human assistants. So I don't know, it just some weird psychological thought in my brain. All right, so right here we want to configure your own models. Select model. Local. Connect. Wait, what? Download chat. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, why is it not connecting to my? It's not connecting to my thing. Reload configuration. Skip it. Oh, maybe we don't. Okay, download autocomplete model, Quinn, blah, blah, blah. I already did that. No, I don't do that. Don't do that. Open poll. Why won't it connect? I have Ollama running on my computer. Normally this skip and configure manually. Yeah, there we are. Okay, here we are. We want chat or autocomplete. I think this actually works. I think just having it installed like that will actually work just fine. So we're just gonna leave that be. We're gonna leave it be. Okay. I think so. If I do like print, does it autocomplete for us? Oh wait, what? Wait. I have here. We have this installed, DeepSeek Coder. I want it to use DeepSeek Coder. I don't know why this is being a pain in the butt. Apparently on Windows is a lot easier to set up. I don't know. Windows makes it so you can just do whatever crap you need to do. This though is not. New assistant. Cancel. Wait, don't cancel. Do not sign into this. This is supposed to be fully localized. Why is this not working on localization? Provider. Where's Ollama? Ollama. Model. Auto to detect. Yes. This is not detecting my stuff. Or did it? I don't know if it did or not, but yeah, this is. I hate it when things don't work the way I want them to work or whatever. There we are. Does it work? My computer gonna spin up? Yes. It is working locally. It is connected. Okay. That being said, now we can work on stuff. All right. So we need to import a few things. We need to import apparently curses. With that, we need to do pip install curses. Could not find version that's satisfied. Can't really build a thing on a thing that doesn't work. Oh, okay. Wait, so where can I get curses? Powers curse in Python and other languages directly from your Fedora settings systems packages manager. To install the development libraries needed for compiling or scripting with curses, we need to sudo rpm or rpm open tree install and curses. headers development files for compiling C, C++. Okay, and then it says in curses dash devel. Devel. If you're using Python and want to use ncurses module on Linux, it's usually included with the Python by default. On Windows, you'll need to install a compatibility package. Wait, so ncurses actually works on its own? Wait, we might not need to install this. Makes me wonder. Here, I should put this at least here. Let me put this up. You guys don't need to see a ton of a terminal. Let me put this on the side. And yeah, let's just go that way. All right, so we're basically gonna copy this. I don't like to copy and paste too much because you learn a lot more when you type it out and actually understand what's going on. So we're gonna do, yeah, there we go. Look at that. See, it's already filing it for us. Look at that. It even has that. It has all the stuff that we're about to set up. Yeah, I love that. This is why AI helps you out. All right, main std scr. We're not gonna get stds here. Don't worry, we're coding. We're gonna do curses.curset. Apparently wants to do 0. I don't know what 0 means. It did have true as a option there, so maybe this is something else. Std screen.clear. Okay, so this is std probably means standard out and then screen, so it's like the standard out screen, aka terminal. So curses, I don't know what the cursor set does here, but it looks like we clear our standard terminal so we can then be able to do stuff in it. So this is I'm guessing when you run a new, when you start typing a new thing, it just clears out its memory so you be able to do new thing. That's my hypothesis of what this is doing. std screen. So then we're gonna do add string. We're gonna do 0, 0, type something. I don't know exactly what we're getting at, what this is getting at with the type something, because I thought this is going to be like a script that runs on top of our terminal somehow. We'll figure it out. We got to do whatever. So yx equals 0, 15. Don't know what that actually means or what that's going to be used for. We're going to do buffer. I'm guessing the buffer is buffer equals I'm guessing the buffer is going to be something to do with basically, so when you cancel things out, it kind of still remembers a little bit. We'll see. While true, ch equals this std screen dot get. What the flip does get do? We don't want to do that, or we actually do want to do that. All right, if character equals 127, which is aka backspace. Backspace. I'm gonna put that comment there because it actually makes a lot more sense. If buffer character equals buffer dot pop, and then for I in range of 1 to curses dot lines, constant lines. So this for loop, we're going to be std screen dot add string something. What are we doing here? We're adding string 1 x minus 1 comma character. Where's character coming from? Character is from the pop. Okay, character comes from the pop. Then we do std dot screen dot refresh. Yes, we don't want this stuff though. There's one thing I don't like about it. It sometimes predicts too far ahead. I'm not there yet. We're still doing some stuff here before we want to get there. Time dot sleep. What is this time dot sleep? Is this? I don't know if I like the time dot sleep thing here, but we'll have to figure out what this is. 0.05. This might be our animation buffer. That might be what it's trying to do. Buffer. I'm just gonna put a question mark there just because I kind of want to understand what that is doing. std screen dot add string, and then we're gonna do I x minus 1 again. Gosh darn, this really wants me to just auto-complete sometimes. I don't want it to autocomplete. Ooh, excuse me. All right. X minus equals 1. All right. What the frick did that X do? What is this X doing? X minus 1. X is 15. Why is 15? What is this? Like, what does this number mean? What are those? I don't know. Let's just add a comment because we don't know what those are exactly right now. So yeah. Okay. All right. Then we gotta do else if, elif. Elif on no. All right. CH equals 10, and oh, press enter. Break. All right. Break. We're is enter. Yeah, I'm guessing. So what this is doing is constantly opening its senses for characters, throw those characters into a buffer. While true, ch equals. So we're getting a character. If character equals backspace, if buffer, character buffer.pop. For iron curses.lines, add string -1. What does add string do exactly? It's like it looks like it's minusing a character, but is it minusing a character? Refresh, sleep, that. Yeah, it looks like this is our animation of some sort, or this will have something to do with our animation. This is replacing the character with space? Is the terminal built out of spaces? Like, it doesn't show it, but like this is just spaces here or something like that. Is that a thing? I don't know. That's kind of interesting. We'll learn it in a second, I guess. Or at least we'll be able to assume things. All right. std screen.add string. Let's do y plus Elrond for win. Elrond for the win. How are you doing? Which distribution am I on? I'm guessing that's what you're saying with DE. I am on Fedora Bazzite, or like the Bazzite, but it's, you know, it's a Fedora distribution. That's what I'm on. Mainly because I'm a gamer. So I do not feel like diving into the whole gaming pit of Linux where it doesn't work half the time. So that's what we're doing right now today. That we're trying to figure out how to add animations to our terminal. I want a specific animation that looks super cool and clean and crisp. I want that on our terminal. So we are gonna try to do it. Where we're learning, or we're basically copying from our AI friend over here. But I'm trying to understand what the AI friend is doing while I'm typing it, because I don't just like copy and paste, because if you just copy paste it, then you're just not learning anything and everything like that. It's just not fun that way. So yeah, that's basically what we're doing. So std screen.refresh. Yeah, all right. I meant desktop environment, but I guess it is a KDE if you are on Bazzite. Yes. You actually can pick GNOME, I believe, on Bazzite, so you can have a Bazzite that has a GNOME interface. But I chose KDE because I haven't used KDE yet, and I did not like GNOME when I was trying. I was on Mint and also Ubuntu earlier, and it just didn't feel like it worked. I was mainly trying to get a compositor that actually works for gaming, and none of those compositors seemed to work how I wanted to do. Wait, is this... All right, curses dot wrapper, and then main. Okay, I just finished typing this. Let's see. Okay, let's see if what the AI over here says. This script animates the deleting character falling down the screen if you expand it with easing, color gradients, or even sound effects. Wait, what? Oh, you can expand it with easing, color gradients, or sound effects. Wait, this script animates the deleting character? How does the script do that? Wait. All right, let's look at this again. All right, so curses is you set the. Actually, wait, is that a typo? That is a typo up here. Yeah, look at that. See, we got a typo up here. All right, so curses, curse set 0. We clear the screen. I don't know what that does. Yeah, I don't know what that does. But then we add string, type something. I'm guessing this is. What the frick is this doing? Here, let's like run it. All right. Want to integrate this into your shell prompt? We can write it in a shell function or alias. Want to build a standalone terminal app? We can use terminal text effects for more advanced visuals. Okay. Want to go wild with matrix style effects? No, okay. Here, let me. Okay, AI. I need you to be a little more clear with me now, on how we can get this thing to work. Okay, so I have the following Python, which you gave me to animate falling characters when backspace is pressed. But how do I what is it? How do I actually apply it to my terminal of choice? Oh, whoops. I didn't type my stuff in there. Whoops. Great question. Writing the script is one step, but integrating it into your terminal workflow is where the magic happens. Here's how you can apply. Here, let's just run this. Why don't we just run this thing, shall we? Python waterfall. Didn't do anything. Okay. I don't know if this is going to actually do anything or not. So, okay, treat your script like a mini terminal app. Save it as falling backspace.py. Okay, I already saved it as something. I call it waterfall instead. Run it directly in your terminal. I did. Type inside the app's prompt. It will handle input and animation deletions. This works best if you want a custom typing interface separate from your shell. Wait, what? It didn't do that. Did we type everything wrong? Here, let me go and copy and paste. Maybe I just gotta... I don't think it did anything wrong, right? Did I type anything wrong? So it's not running out of the box, which is fine, because it means that we get to learn. Ah, frick. I just closed it. I need to be careful of where I type stuff. All right, we're fine. We're good. We're back up and running. Oh, I probably didn't save it. Ah, that's why I didn't save it. Okay, well that doesn't work. I press backspace and it does like a C. Like, okay. That's what I was guessing it wasn't gonna work right off the bat. It like just didn't do squat. If you want the animation to run inside your shell session, you'll need to intercept input before it reaches the shell. This is trickier, but doable. Use a shell wrapper script. Create a shell script that launches your Python app first. After exiting the Python app, it drops you into your regular shell. Interesting. Let's do this. Start terminal.sh. Let's copy and paste this over. Python, we're going to call this waterfall because that's what I want to call it. Execute bash. Okay. Make it executable. All right, change mod plus X. Let's start terminal. Okay. Then launch your terminal using... I don't get what this is trying to get at. because this didn't give me the instruction to like actually do anything. Don't think this is understanding what I wanted to do. The full integration, you'll need to build a custom shell or terminal emulator using something like ncurses, or even... Oh. So this is why AI doesn't quite understand what I'm doing here or what I'm trying to accomplish. Because for one, when I run... What the frick? It just did some weird stuff. Like when I run waterfall pipe, like, or when I run this thing, like the backspace just types C. When I run this script, the backspaces just type a special character C instead. Let's see if this can like help us understand why. Because when I read it, it makes sense that it's not doing it quite right. Because I had the backspace mystery. We have been they were trying a different character from backspace than 127 on your system, likely 8, which is ASCII for backspace. Okay, yeah, that makes a lot more sense actually. This is 8. Update your backspace check to handle multiple possibilities. It's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, let's do that. If change in, let's do curses dot key backspace 127 or even 8. All right, let's save that. Control Z that. Python waterfall. Oh, it did work. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. It's working. It's working. Okay, so we got an animation, but also the animation's incorrect. It had some bugs. It had some bugs, but it does have like a character falling animation, which is kind of cool in a way. So that's kind of cool. How do you increase the size of it? Yeah, let's increase the size of this so you guys can actually see what's going on. So I can type stuff. It doesn't actually delete the letter from the interface. So that's kind of not all right. So this doesn't delete the character, but it does have the character fall. I think we need to set it so it just fades. The character needs to fade and just fall a little bit because it doesn't need to fall all the way off the screen. Except for that kind of is a cool effect on its own. So like that might be a fun little thing we could do. All right, so here's how to fully delete the character. Right after the animation loop ends, once the character has fallen, you'll need to erase the character from the input line, update the display to reflect this shortened buffer. Okay, so basically we have that if whatever thing, if buffer, if we pop it out of the buffer. Wait, we shorten the buffer? Wait, is that what it said? Shortened buffer. Character add screen. Okay. So this is gonna erase the character. So std screen dot. Oh, it's fake. My dog is like pulling my cord. Ooh, all right. Dot move. Y comma X. I still don't understand the Y comma X thing. It's something that's kind of just forbade my understanding. But we'll see. Add string. I don't know how that works. Like that's just adding a space. We want it just delete. But I don't know exactly. Like this, I'm just like working with a library that makes no sense to me. So yeah. Wait, oh, I understand. The 0, 15 here, this is this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's what it is. The 15 is the characters over on the x-axis. So we're basically keeping track of like a column system going on here. That's what's going on. That makes sense. All right, so we type stuff, backspace. Wait, is it? I want it to multitask here. Meaning we might need to have multi-processing here. So creating a separate process that runs to then do the backspace. Because, yeah, I think, yeah. Okay, so we're going to move all of this to here. Because I want it to delete the character first, then do the animation. Because right now it's doing the animation. So if I do backspace, it does the animation, then the character goes away. So there's 2 instances of the animation. I needed it gone before it even starts the animation, which this for loop looks like it is the animation. And it has this time sleep. The time sleep is the ticks of how fast it does. It's that gamer tick, basically, that we're recreating in the terminal itself. So now that we fixed that, let's try it again. So I type. I think it's the character behind. Yeah, so just drop the O. So O is gone, but then I'll drop the G. Okay, so it's not deleting the character. Wait. What is this add string? I don't... All right, while true, we get character that is being typed. If the character is a backspace, if there's a buffer, meaning there is characters typed, the buffer is the characters that are typed. The characters... I think that's what's going on. I think the buffer is the characters that are typed. Which makes me wonder, if I press enter here... Wait, oh, we don't have it loop. We break. We don't want to break. We want to enter a new line. So we'll add the entering stuff later. It seems like we're actually building a terminal here right now. Like, we're a Python-based terminal. Oh, that's not gonna be that fast. I don't think it's gonna be that fast, guys. It'd be kind of a fun project, but it's not usable, maybe? I don't know. Like, I'd like to import everything from my terminal so I can use all the terminal commands and such, but that might be a little too much for this. This is gonna turn into a large project. Woo. Okay. But I want to fix this little bug where when it deletes the character before doing the animation. So if buffer character buffer.pop std screen move add string move std screen add character.refresh. I'm trying to understand. Is it this refresh? Is that what cleans it up a bit? Not. No, that's not what's doing it. Where does the character go away? Because when this was at the end here, this at least made it so when we type, oh crap, we just broke something. One second, one second. Oh, character.pop. Whoops. That's what was going wrong. I moved the character.pop. Okay, so when we type, oh, wait, what? Crap, why is it breaking out now of all times? So line 27, character.move. Oh. This is YX. It is queuing up the whole system, but I don't want it to just... Okay. It seems the... Okay, here, let me just pop this into the AI so it kind of has my code. It seems the... Or I... Okay, this makes it so it queues up all the animations and nothing visually happen. Nothing or no new animations happen until previous animation happens. Can we implement multi-processing here so we can have this play all animations that are happening one after or on top of each other so there is no lag? Let's see if this can do it. Is this going to let us do it? Because I think this is a multi-processing problem. I think we just got to implement multi-processing, like processor or whatever it's called, library, and then have this multi-process to do the animation. This is not working. That's one thing. Here, let me just try local AI. Maybe local AI would work. DeepSeek Coder, help me. Actually, wait, one second. Let me recopy this. And here, start new. This script makes... All right, actually, I am trying to do a animation where when I backspace, it has the character drop from existence, drop and disappear. Right now, it's struggling. It's queuing all the animations and flags. I want the animations to be able to play simultaneously. Let's see if that can do anything. Look at that. I love it when you have a local AI that can just power through. Like literally just did it for us, just like instantaneously basically there. All right. And look at that. See, this isn't even done. Copilot sucks. Screw you, Copilot. All right. Achieve the effect you're aiming for, where each character deletion is accompanied by an animation. You can simplify the code. All right, so it wants me. What has it changed? That's the thing I want to start at. Okay, so it does the buffer. If buffer does the stuff. So we pop the character for I in range. Blah blah blah. X minus the buffer. Oh wait, length of buffer. Refresh just the sleep to control the animation speed. Then add blah blah blah. This is doing length of buffer rather than one. I don't know what that will do to us, but let's try it. It's just 2-line change, right? Oh. It's just dropping from the same spot. We do not want length of buffer. Unless, wait, was there another thing here that was missing that made it work for that versus what we were doing? No, it is not. I'm doing length of buffer -1. We're gonna do that. Because if we did that, yeah, it does. It puts at the end of the thing. Is it dropping from the character itself, or it's dropping from? Can I actually control? Let's. Okay. So we do want the -1. We want the -1. All right. Yeah. All right. Just yeah. Just had to do that. Just had to do that visual check. Wait, what the flip? Why is? It's kind of weird. Okay, we got the visual check there. Okay, so we're good there. We got length of buffer, blah blah blah. All right, so if is enter break, we'll break the program. Buffer dot append x +1 curses wrapper. Wait, this didn't do anything. This literally didn't do anything. What the frick? And this never worked. Okay. I want animations. I want the dropping animation to happen simultaneously as any other animations that are already playing, though. Would I need to implement multi-processing? I'm pretty sure it's a yes. I just need to... I guess my brain just tells me that yes, we're going to need to implement multi-processing, and what's going to happen is we will need this to run in, what do you call it? Basically, we're going to need to separate this chunk right here into a different function, which is actually a good way to do it. I think, or at least I think that's how I would do it. Async. Oh. What is async? Here's how you could implement this using async IO library along with curses. If you're looking to run multiple independent animations simultaneously without blocking or interfering with each other, Python's curses library itself does not support true multitasking due to its single-threaded nature. However, you can achieve a similar effect by using threading or... Async IO. I'm guessing that's like a library built on top of the multiprocessing library, most likely. We use async to handle the blinking animation separately from the main input line. This allows both animations, the typing effect and blinking, to run concurrently. Blinking animation, the blinking animation function runs indefinitely, toggling the visibility of the character at a fixed interval. Awaiting async, blah blah blah, curses, implementations, blah blah blah, cancellation when the user finishes typing. We cancel the blink animation type using blink task to type. Okay, I think this is a little bit better of what we're trying to do, maybe. It's doing a blinking animation, but we also want this to do the drop animation. I'm going to go ahead and copy all of this. Save this really quick. Paste the new stuff. Save it again. Whatever. It got rid of the other stuff. Yeah, I got rid of the other animation in the process of all that somehow. Also, there's no blinking. Wait, what was talking about blinking animation? Cancel the blinking animation task when done. Oh, wait, this is overriding some of my stuff. Wait, that's a buffer. Adjusting my code. Huh. How does the drop character work? Hmm. Because this doesn't work at all out of the box. We gotta figure out how to get this to work. Hmm. Kind of wondering, just because this is whatever, can I adjust the font? It's not really a, no, that's not adjusting font. Okay, I think my local AI is not doing what I wanted to do. This AI is broken and dead somehow. Don't know what's going on there. Can we get this so I can continue to type and backspace while the animation plays, as right now it's just queuing all the animations. Okay. Yes. See, this is using threading. That's what I wanted. Actually, I might just copy and paste all this over, to be honest, so it will. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm kind of just vibe coding now. Full vibe coding here. Okay, it is working where I can now do multi-threading, but oh my god, that's so messed up. Look at that. Wait. If we like, oh, it's so weird. So this is the problem with threading is when you start threading, what is going on? Yeah, when you start threading, it can get wacky because it doesn't know what's going on, what's where. That's kind of fun though. I do want that drop animation to play. Woo! I don't know, it's kind of fun. I'm just having fun now. Gosh darn it, why am I being so crazy? All right. Okay, so bugs are happening here. Prevents screen corruption from simultaneous updates. Keeps the main loop free to handle typing and backspacing instantly. Now you can type like a wizard. There seems to be some because really it is typing accurately. No, it's not typing accurately. what's going on here? Okay, let's break down the code. 'Cause I kind of see what could be going wrong, and that it's you want the main typing loop to stay single-threaded, right? So you have your single-threaded main loop. Then when you do a backspace, you want that to trigger a thread to just do an animation. That's it. The main loop is still there. It just boots an animation thread to just do the animation. That way, your main loop isn't corrupt, isn't messed up, and it continues doing stuff. But right now, it looks like it's mixing up those threads a little bit. So we need to fix that. And I can kind of see right here. Okay, so wait, one second. So we curses equals curse that set, curse that clear. I don't know what that does exactly. It's still, this sets it all up. This puts the cursor in the proper place so we can type from there. Buffer equals that. So this is basically storing over stuff. Lock equals threading dot lock. Do we actually need that lock there though? Here, let me do this. What does threading dot lock do? I want to know what this thing does. Threading lock in Python is a synchronization primitive that helps prevent race conditions when multiple threads across shared resources, like your terminal screen, in the fall character animations. What it does, creates a mutual exclusion lock, aka mutex. Ensures that only one thread at a time can execute a block of code that modifies shared data. Prevents threads from overlapping or corrupting output while they try to write to the same place. I'm gonna take this away. Nope. Breaks. Wait, oh wait, where lock was defined somewhere. What's lock? You know, we're going down this waterfall. I'm learning a couple things. I'm kind of learning how curses is some kind of automatically built UI terminal interface thing. I still don't think this could be viable to solve my issues. So we're learning, but we're not actually going to have an application at the end of this that we'll use. I have to do a lot more. I literally want to just take my current terminal and just apply animation effects, but and I understand the concept of how that can happen with if you use multi-threading. But this is just messing with libraries. I don't feel like mentally putting my brain into learning. Like I already have to learn so many things. I'm just gonna look up. Let's look up just Linux terminal animations. I'm just gonna look up that. How to create an animated art. No, I don't want that. What am I trying to look for? Let's look at this. What's this? We're watching a video, guys. We're a React channel now.
Simple script. To do that, we will be using a project named VHS. So further ado, let's get started. Now, this time we will be doing things differently. I will skip the installation step and go straight on how to use VHS. And while doing so,
This is a tool.
Some of the installed instructions. So you can see it created this file. Now, if we open that up, we will see the default example. On top of the file, tab script, font, and we will be using the type command.
I'm just gonna look up on YouTube here. Terminal character animations. Just see it. Let's just Linux terminal character. Linux terminal. Linux terminal. Type animations. Kind of what I'm looking for is type animations. Linux terminal animations. Let's see. Any of these people do cool things? Okay, this guy just built Snake. Okay, I don't care about your Snake program. Sorry, dude. Pretty cool, probably. But... Okay, yeah, that's just doing the matrix thing. I don't care about that. This scene, these are the things that are... It's kind of cute, but not quite what we're looking for. Oh gosh, that was loud. Bro, please adjust your volume to like understandable uses.
Little app called Edex UI. Now, if you've seen Tron Legacy, then you know exactly what the developer, Get Squared, was going for. Even if he does claim it might or might not be a joke taken too seriously, that still doesn't change the fact that it's awesome. Edex UI, it's not exactly new, but it's new to me, so it might be new to you. Anyway, just like BashTop,
this is actually really cool.
Corner of your screen to check it out. I love and appreciate a novelty terminal emulator that also happens to look stunning, futuristic, and is perfectly usable. What do you need to know about this? Here are the highlights. It's cross-platform, so it's available for Linux, macOS, and Windows. It doubles as a real-time system and network monitor. There are a ton of slick themes to activate, and a wiki that can help talented developers and tweakers customize it beyond what's included there by default.
This is really cool.
Touchscreen displays. So yeah, that keyboard is more than just a prop. Those sound effects, though. Give me those and the ambient audio from the Starship Enterprise, and I would be in productive hacker heaven. Edex UI is super simple to install on all operating systems. Just look for the respective app image, exe, or DMG files.
This is really cool. But like, it's not the solution we want, but it's cool.
But, if you haven't experienced the ultimate nerdy version of Star Wars yet, this is the perfect place to do it. Taking a few minutes out of your day to check.
I'm gonna like this, even though this is not the guy that created this. He's at least making some kind of visual. Hey, why? Look at that right here. Or, huh? Wait, why am I? This is not normal, right? We don't let me get thrown up here in the one stuff. Animated 3 blue. Oh, this is 3 blue 1 brown. Oh wow, yeah, he's doing his like cool math stuff. That guy has cool stuff. Is there anyone that is doing what I'm trying to do? Is this gonna be a project I just gotta do it because nobody else has done it? I think so. I think this is just something that nobody's done, right? This is where like I have actively found many things that are not available on the internet. And people are like, oh, everything's on the internet. It's like, no, nothing's on the internet. I want a amazing looking terminal. It not get none of this stuff is like, unless it's like a, I don't know. Backspace. Like, I just want the backspace animation, right? No. Gosh, this is like dead internet theory right here. Like, I just think there's just like nowadays there's just nothing new that's good, and we're just getting a lot of old crap that doesn't work. I'm trying to figure out this old crap though. Backspace key is not working. No, it's not. I'm trying to look for animation. How to press backspace in gaming. How many views this guy? 41,000 views. Holy crap. Somebody give that guy a medal for just doing the stupidest of videos and getting 40,000 people to click on their video. Wait, this guy. Wait, Alt backspace is. What? I did not know that was a command or a hotkey. Alt backspace is a hotkey, guys. Good to know. Good to know. That's cool. I'm just do backspace animations. Is this like, am I about to go down the weirdest hole that's never been dug in terminal? All right, guys, I think we have the next big software thing, unless somebody can steal this out from underneath me. We need to build a new shell. Yes. I think this is something that's never been done. Let me even go/Copilot. Copilot, tell me. What the frick? This is why I freaking hate Microsoft. Go/Copilot. Freaking screw you. Screw you, Copilot. You suck. Can't do freaking crap. Alright, okay, I need a new prompt even though it technically still remembers all my previous prompts, which is super freaking annoying. It's not letting me even do a new prompt. So I think it's because I'm not signed in. I think it does react better when you're signed in because I think it puts you to the front of the queue of their, like, whatever they call it thing. Also, have I gone through the list of all my playing of music? I want music in the background, or I'm playing some music in the background for myself at least. All right. Is there any terminals or any Linux terminals that support backspace animations? I think this is a fun, legit question. We might have to just build a brand new terminal where people can use a system like Curses to add plugins that are thrown in. Oh, this is okay. We gotta like break down a whole like workflow of this if we can make a new thing that can do all this stuff. Also, this thing really sucks. Come on, Copilot. I'm just gonna Google search this as well, or Brave search it, whatever. There's no direct mention of Linux terminals supporting backspace animations in the provided context. However, the discussion around terminal behavior, key mapping, blah 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 blah. These are resolved by configurations. Additionally, there are discussions about remapping keys like to performance of actions. Mapping Control H to backspace in terminal animations. Is there any Linux terminals that support dialized typing animations? I feel like that's a little bit more open-ended question of it. Increases simulation of underwater life with fish, plants, and other elements. To use it, you need to install the term animation module and then install. Let's look up what this thing is. What is this ASCIIquarium? What is this ASCIIquarium thing? I need a example of it. Where's a video? How to install ASCII animations. Sure. I hope you actually show what it is at the end. Is it literally just a background? Okay, that's not what we're looking for. Another example is a C matrix, which simulates the display from the matrix that shows a scrolling matrix. Okay, we don't care about that. How? Okay, what is this? Let me explore how to emulate typing effects in Linux. Emulating a typing effect when displaying text in the terminal enhances user experience by providing an illusion of typing in real time. Whether for tutorials or other purposes, the approach we discussed. It's purely cosmetic, but guess what? People pay money for cosmetic. How to create animation art on your Linux terminal? Has this ever even answered? No, natively no. Most Linux terminal emulators don't support built-in backspace animations. They falling, fading, or bouncing characters. Terminals are designed to speed and accuracy, so visual effects like that are usually handled by external scripts or libraries. Mainstream emulator like GNOME Terminal, blah 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 blah, has a built-in backspace animation. You can simulate them using Python plus curses. I want to see a actual working copy of that. Text effects, a Python library that supports complex animations, including character movement and fading. Wait, we saw this earlier, but I don't think it was. Internal visual effect engine. It can be installed as a system application to produce effects in your terminal, or as a Python library to enable effects within your Python scripting. Ooh, that's cool. This is what we want. We want that. That is definitely what we want right there. That rain. Terminal text effects. Let me look at this up. YouTube, terminal text effects. I want to see if there's like. Beautiful terminal styling in Python with rich.
In this video, we are going to have a look at the rich library, import, and then we can apply, and then different.
I want to see it. Freaking hate these guys when they're like, introduction.
We'll go over the main features. Rich is, by the way, an open source. Will give us a great opening group. We use argument style.
What is this guy doing? This is one problem I have with a lot of these coder people. They code and code, they don't show the results. I feel like when you're coding, you gotta show the results over time. If you're not showing the results, then how can I ever trust what you're doing is actually accurate? These are just boot up things, not like continuing on things. Gosh darn it. I want to see it in actual use.
If you want to add some real pizzazz to your terminal, check out this package, Terminal Text Effects. It runs with Python, and then after you install it, you just pick an effect. Whatever you pipe to it, it applies that effect to it in the terminal. That's pretty cool. So I've seen some of these, but not all of them.
I'm getting really annoyed, guys. And gals, whoever might be in the chat watching us, because apparently we're at 100 views somehow. How are we at 100 views? What are y'all doing on a Sunday? Okay, I think we just have to build our own terminal. Or is there high resolution terminals? Because I think a little bit of what I want to do if I want to use like a high resolution terminal basically. Because I kind of am thinking like I'd like it higher resolution and stuff almost. Okay, let me go to the here. I got an idea. So we kind of need to build this thing out, right? If we ever want to actually do said thing, we need to where you got liked videos. This is why you like videos, because you want to see what things are. So this is the GitHub, the Edex UI. Basically, I want to see this is written in JavaScript. Okay, okay. So we gotta build this in JavaScript if we're gonna build this. JavaScript, CSS, HTML. Okay. Do we have to bite the bullet and learn JavaScript, guys? If we want to build something like this? For one, is this made up information right here? This IP address and stuff? Because you definitely don't want that exposing when you're doing a live stream or something like that. Yeah, I would never want that to be like actually showing. I guess that's a 180, yeah, that's not quite their actual IP address, I don't think. I do like what they're doing. So if we could almost go off of this to build something like a different distribution of this thing. That would be really cool. Because I just want to be able to do my cool typing and stuff in it. I feel like I'm gonna go down a way too deep of a rabbit hole that it would take me hundreds of hours to do, and I don't quite feel like spending that much time on a project like this. Media update sponsors. So this is the this is the source. Got all the assets. Classes. Hmm. Hmm. Should we just download this to just try it? We could do that. What's their most recent release? 2021. You got app images. Mac OS Linux. Choose an application to open. What's the standard way to open app images in Fedora? Do I open app image in Fedora? Okay, let's try this thing out. No. Change mod a plus x. We're trying to do this edex blah blah blah. I think that should makes it runnable, right? So we're gonna do the edex now. Edex crashed. Listening address already in use. Oh. Haha, it's using one of my I have to modify it to not use that port then. How do I force an app image to use a different port? Because that port is my port. Let's do like 8050 or something like that. Will that work? No, still trying to use a 3000 port. Edex. How do I make it so you don't use a certain port? Features, screenshots. Do they have like install instructions? npm run. I do not want you to run on port 3000 because I'm using it and I want it free for development work. Here, let's just download their project, huh? Shall we? CD projects. Yeah. CD edex UI. grep. We want to just grep 3000, don't we? Oh, whoops. We want to grep recursively. 3000. There we go. Look at that right there. Location globe.class.json. We got ports there. There's a poorly thing right there. What's this? Icons. Gosh darn. How many? What is all this junk? What is this? SVG file icons? That's like really, what is this? I don't know what that is. But we have port, boot.js port equals 3000, systems.port, excellent. So we want to boot, or we want to change this port right here to something different. Underscore port.js. And then we're gonna have to rebuild it. Okay. So let's open their thing, file, open folder, edx, dex, or whatever it's called. src, is it main or something like that? Break, what was it? Underscore boot. src underscore boot, this one. All right, support for more terminals using let me just search on port actually. What port equal null? Base port equal settings. Support for more do they have a flag for more different ports? Actually, maybe, and to be honest, AI might actually be able to help me on this question. How do I run edx -UI on a different port? What distribution? Kaiser, Caesar, is it Kaiser? Caesar? I don't know what you're trying. We're on Fedora. This is Bazzite Fedora, as you can tell right there, Bazzite. Yeah, that's kind of annoying that we have to like literally change the source code to do this. This seems like a very helpful thing to do, right? Right? Imagine it is. Clone, search for 3000 the code, likely in main or WebSocket, change it to your desired port, rebuild the app. This requires Node.js, npm, and some know-how. That just, what are you talking about? It's just quickly change something. Actually, what I want to do is I want to change this such so it looks like we do port window.settings.port or 3000. I'm guessing that's what that means. Is that or? Is double brackets in JavaScript or? I think it is. I'm wiping my Arch install very soon to reinstall because I am a crazy person. You do that, man. Have fun with Arch Linux. You know, I'm gonna give it a couple years because I do know that like Arch Linux is like popping off like with people getting on it. So I'm gonna let people filter through, make all the tutorials for me, and then I'll get on it 2 years later when there's all the tutorials how to do stuff and what to do and everything. Because right now I am not gonna put my brain power towards that because I already have projects and I'm trying to figure out some other stuff right now. I kind of diving down the rabbit hole that like I kind of want to build my own terminal at this point. I'm kind of that's why I'm trying out this edx thing because I might try to build a new terminal. kind of how they have it, but I want to build it more open-ended so people could maybe then alter the terminal. Because right off the bat, this terminal, it's hard-coded already, right? Like, this is hard-coded. So, yeah. Alright, so right now it's like hard-coded settings.port right here. Port is settings.port. Where's the settings coming from, though? So, settings in this page. Oh, wait, what's this? Right here, settings. Create window, settings. Is that the same? No, that's like passing in settings. Settings.environment. Settings equals require settings file. Is there a settings file? Am I blind? I'm not seeing a settings file here. Require settings file, load settings file, waiting for front end communication, settings equals da, 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 da. Where is this settings coming from? Come on. Settings file, path.join, get path, user path, settings.json. The wiki is pretty nice. I won't lie. Just use cfdisk instead of fdisk, and then it's easy peasy. There are good tutorials on YouTube as well, but now there are install scripts, which makes it very easy. Yeah, I guess, like, yeah, what was it? Ever since PewDiePie said that he was going to Arch Linux, I feel like there's like a huge like wave of. I'm like, you have fun over there. I'm still having problems with Linux by itself because I'm a gamer at heart, and if I can't play my games, then what's the point? Like, in the end, we're all just a bunch of people making different applications and stuff, and yeah, I don't know. So I am gonna work with the system that works with video games rather than having to do a ton of manual labor to do video games. Well, I'm guessing you're talking about how the tutorials have been there. I bet the tutorials have been there, but I've consistently found weird niches that have not been filled, and that's where I'm like, I kind of give it a year or two, hopefully somebody will fill those niches. Like right now, the niche that I have found just on this live stream that nobody seems to have done is create a terminal that supports animation plugins. For example, every terminal that you will find, when you type, it just types like that, and the backspace is like that instantly. That's it. It doesn't have any sort of animations where when you're typing, it does like fading in kind of characters, or dropping off characters, or characters being blasted apart as you're like pressing the backspace. It like all the pixels blast apart. None of that exists. So that's a niche. It has never been done. If it has been done, please let me know. I actually really want it. But I cannot find anything that does that. So the closest thing that I've found right now is this Edex, this thing, where they basically built their whole application. It's a JavaScript application that does command lines. But what I see with my knowledge of what I'm trying to do is, if you can build a GUI application out of JavaScript that does all your commands and all that stuff, you can use visuals to create those animations and throw it in the UI. Except for, I don't know exactly how JavaScript UIs work with animation, like pixels being blown apart and such. I don't know how that works. But if it can render characters being thrown on a screen and scrolling, it must handle pixels being blown apart, correct? So that's kind of what I'm like looking at right now, because this is a niche that's never been filled. If I can figure out how this person built their application, maybe I can kind of mimic it, copy it, and then throw in my plugin support where I can like open end plugin, build a plugin, make it so it works in there, and then I have a new application that has a functionality that nobody's ever done before, and I own it. No, I'm just kidding. Take off with it because open source is awesome. But yeah, they probably have some crap like that on Hyperland. Wait, Hyperland. What's Hyperland? I am ignorant of Linux stuff. Hyperland. Hyperland is a movie, okay. Or Hyperland tiling window compositor with the looks. That does look beautiful. That looks very beautiful. I hate curved corners though. It feels like a waste of space to me, but that aside, okay. I'm like you got me. This is dynamic tiling. Oh, you gotta love the little website animations. They're so fun. It is like, yeah, it's so fun. Plugins, hyperbars, design, layout, miscellaneous. Ooh, wait, what is this? Framework for whatever. Hyper WinRAP. Okay, no. What is this? I'm exploring. You have me go down another rabbit hole here. Wiki. Configuration, keywords. What I'm looking for is text and fonts. Because nerds don't like this stuff, but if you can build something that looks beautiful and easy install, you can get the non-nerdy people in it. And if you get the non-nerdy people in it, you get money. I'm just kidding. Or am I kidding? Or am I not kidding? I don't know. Ha 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 ha. Who knows? You might get people that do whatever stuff. Why is this YouTube video playing in the background? I don't know what that video was. I've been falling down the rabbit hole for some time now. I imagine, yeah. Like, literally, like, you go, like, so far, I have successfully built one decently cool Flask application that I very much am proud of, even though it was half programmed with, it was vibe coded with AI. So I can't claim all of it. I just know I put it together. I am a architect. That's what I am. I'm a software architect, but I'm a very amateur software architect. I know how to put code together. I can read code and code, but sometimes when I don't know what I'm doing, I vibe code, and then it turns into real code after that because I clean it up and make it look good after the fact. But with this said, I want to get this thing running. If I can get Edex running, that's step one. If I can get Edex running. This needs a settings file though. We'll see if I get any progress. I've been going down lots of rabbit holes today. I'm still on the same rabbit hole, kind of, but just in a different way. So that's the good thing here. We're kind of still in the same rabbit hole. All right, so we have a win file, join user data. I need to figure out there's no settings.json file, is there? Let me see. Find settings.json. Find recursively settings.json. Wait. Grep settings.json. Grep recursively. I sometimes I need to memorize the grep commands. Do they have anything to read me about the settings file? No. Where the frick is this settings file? You gotta love people that make cool tools, but also you gotta hate them when they don't make it work for like how you want it to work. Just trying to figure out the file structure for their settings application. You know what? AI, help me. Okay. I think this is where I am going to use continue here in a second. I'm going to let it do a 15-minute ask here. I want to do the entire code base. I wanted to search the entire code base, basically. Entire at SRC, the entire folder. Be able to change the default port of this JavaScript application. Can you help me find where it is set? Then propose how I can implement a way to add a flag that allows me to run this on a different port. All right, this might take a while, but I'm going to let it go at it. We'll see how that goes. Or it just tells me right off the bat, to change the default port of your JavaScript, you need to locate where the port is currently being set. Blah, 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 blah. In boot.js, this script handles the creation of the Electron window and its loading URL, which could potentially include a default port setting if it's being used for local development. I don't scroll, please. Listen on the specific port and other configuration files or scripts that are not directly linked but could be indirectly involved in a port setting, such as the .environment file or a JSON configuration for this port. Port is set. I'll make the assumption based on the common practices and provide a solution. So, what are we looking at here? Create window. Where are you? All right, function create window, import settings. Assuming default port of 300 is not provided. Wait, where's the port thing here? Wait, what? This isn't where it does it. It's not where it does it all. Modify the code to accept command line arguments. I'm kind of confused that we're port. Oh, hello, my pretties. Create default settings file. Booyah! Right there, guys. Right there. We found it. Mwah. Did this already finish? What ports can I use that's not 3000? So I'm not that big into understanding how ports work and everything. Maybe I could just use like 3001 or something like that. I don't know. Is there like a when choosing a port number for your JavaScript, it's important to select one that's available and not already in use by another service. Blah blah blah. Well-known ports range from 0 to 1000. These are typically used standard services, such as avoiding unless you want a specific reason. Dynamic to dynamically. Okay, so it's after port 1024 is where I can kind of just pick whatever. There's still a risk of conflict. Unregistered port. These are last ports of the port range, since fewer often use a default alternative to port 80 or whatever. Okay, avoid well-known ports. Okay. Consider blah blah blah. So, can we just do 3001? Is that just end of day? Just set it to port 3001, right? I don't know. Okay, we did that. How do we build this thing? I actually don't think I've ever built another person's project before. Why don't we try it? QA commands for nerds. For starting from source on, you'll need the Xcode command line tool on blah blah on Windows. Building due to native npm. You can only build targets for the host OS you are using. Wait, so I won't be able to... npm isn't a command, right? Yeah, it's not a command in bash. That's a Windows command. Okay, I modified the edex UI application or code to code. How do I build this into an app image on Fedora? Let's see if AI can help me out with this. I've never done this before. Please, 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 work. I want it to work. I don't see it working at all. All right, DeepSeek Coder. Can you outrun Microsoft Copilot? Your modified version of it involves several steps, including setting up a build environment, packaging your application with appropriate tools like the image builder. All right, install necessary dependencies. Why make GCC, make get wget tar, blah 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 blah. What the frick? Wait. Build. Install necessary dependencies. I think they just listed off a bunch of tools. I don't think any of these tools actually will help us. Yeah, we already have all these tools. I don't think we need to worry about that. All right, build the app image. Install app image builder if not already installed. Py3, install app image builder. Create an .appdir. Follow the example provided in the app image documentation, or use app image to scaffold a basic appdir. Oh gosh. This is above my pay grade, people. Actually, no, it should be actually at my pay grade. I should have learned how to do this. Which is something they teach you in college. I learned so many things in college, and yet I still am missing a lot of things that I'm like, I wish I learned that, but I don't know it. All right, what does this tell me to do? All right, this wants me to install a new the Apple image or app image. Yeah, the app image tool. Prepare the app directory structure. Create a directory that mimics the file system layout. And copy your modified build code into. Create an app run script. Tells this app image how to run your app. So your app image integrates with the desktop. Build the app image. Make sure your modified .exe binary is executable to test it. Do we just trust the AI and go at it like crazy? Maybe. So we get the app image installer. We change the... Oh crap, did I just install it here? Wait. Where'd that install to? It did. It did install here. Gosh darn it. No, delete that. Move to trash. All right, now we have on the outside of this directory my projects folder. I feel like it's a little better place for this kind of thing. Download the official Apple image or app image, not Apple image package. So we did that. Prepare the appdir structure. Create a directory that mimics the final layout. Sure. I'm just gonna trust this. Let's just do it. Just trust in it. Then copy your modified build into appdir user bin. Let's do this. Projects. EDX. Control C. All right, so copy bin, including any required assets, themes, or binaries. Appdir user bin. Copy pasted. All right. Create the run script. This tells the app image how to launch the app. I've never actually used cat like this before. Can I just copy and paste this though? What did it do exactly? App image, appdir, run app. Open with. It's literally just execute. All right, cool. It's there. Add a desktop entry, create a blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'll trust it. Web, blah, 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 icon, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's trust it. Place your icon as in appdir. I don't really care for icon, to be honest, but should I? Should I get icon? Sure, I place the icon in there. Build the app image. Arch, blah, 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 app image, blah, 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 blah. Did it work? I don't think it did. Wait, Arch Linux continuous build built on using Arch Linux should be packaged as blah 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 defined in desktop but not found. For example, you could put a into blah 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 appdir.edx .png edx .png. Except for I think it did execute that and build it though. Right? Wait, did it? I don't know. Let's read this. This will generate in your current directory. It did not generate in current directory. Let's try running it again. You can put a into edx image app appdir edx. I did. Wait, what's the name of the file it's looking for? Is it literally not able to do it because I'm not putting an image, like an image in there? Do you need an image, like an image name for compiling something? That's kind of stupid if you need an image name for compiling something, but all right. where do I need to put it though? Place your EDX. Oh, I just realized that this is not, I thought I did name it right. edex.png right there. Okay, now let's try again. Did something. It did something. Okay. Okay. Well, what did it do? Let's read through this a little bit. Architect, deleting pre-existing dir icon, creating warning app string is app string upstream metadata is missing. Parallel exporting. Okay, it's missing a couple of number of files, a lot of files. Please consider submitting your app image to App Image Hub, the source code. Blah, 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 blah. Tits. Make sure your modified binary is executable. So did it actually make the executable? I have like a dir icon right here that was built. There we are. It made it right there. That's it. So change mod plus x edex or edex edex app image. All right. Edex app. Wait, what? History, blah 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 blah. All right, where did we get our one thing right here? That's all my Docker stuff from yesterday. Change mod right there of our thing. Okay. Edex-ui, blah blah blah. No such file directory. Kind of getting to my wit's end here, boys and girls and children of all ages. Oh, it's 4 p.m. End of a typical work day very shortly here. Should I call it? I think I'm ready to call it here. Line 2. Okay, I think it is actually working. It just I didn't build it right. I don't think I feel like doing this whole rabbit hole right here, so I think we might call this a good doozy of a work day. We have not gotten that far. We've discovered a few things. We discovered that this topic that we're kind of trying to work on is very limited in the scope that like it's not available. It's a cool project that this guy built, but seems like it needs work to work. So I think we call it good, guys and gals. I think we're gonna end our stream there. We'll come back to this another day. Eventually, we might have something to show for ourselves. I, on the other hand, I'm gonna probably go eat something, maybe eat some ice cream, and then play some video games. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. If you think you're a Linux elitist, let me know. Then I'll ban you. No, I'm just kidding. If you're Linux elitist, let's just explain to me how things work so I can learn, and then take your attitude somewhere else. Just kidding. All right, but yeah, seriously, this is actually kind of fun trying to learn a lot of this stuff, and I do respect a lot of the things that you can learn on Linux. A lot of cool stuff that can happen with Linux, especially since I'm trying to decouple myself from the big companies. And for some reason, my dog can understand when I'm ending a live stream, because my dog at the very end of every live stream understands that I'm closing up and will start whining and being like, let's party. And it's like, that, my dog must be either smart or can secretly understand me, even though I don't say, or they pretend to not understand. My dog, yeah, right, doggo? Right? I need to upload to her channel. She has a channel. She actually has more subscribers than me. Wow. Even though I haven't posted on the channel in like a year or two. All right, thanks guys. Bye bye.